Georgina Onuoha drags Chioma Akptha on social media. In her words, she wrote, "I'm glad Chioma Akptha experienced what she went through in her polling unit." See how she was screaming like a cow. But before I proceed, this is Aproko Gist TV, a platform where we give you trending and latest updates happening all over the world on social media. Now, if you haven't already, do subscribe to our YouTube page as Aproko Gist TV, and don't forget to like and turn on your notification bell to get notified when we drop a new video. And at our Facebook page is at Aproko Gist. To all our returning subscribers, much love from we here. Thank you for always staying tuned with us. And yes, this promises to be another interesting episode of Trending Gist. To all our viewers, relax, enjoy, and stay tuned. Georgina Onuoha drags her former colleague Chioma Akptha, who shared a video from her polling unit after it was attacked by thugs. According to Georgina, during the 2019 general election, Chioma slid into her DM and asked her to stop sharing posts of rigging and violence experienced in support of the country in that year 2019. Georgina, who claimed Chioma said that making such posts will affect her brand, she said she blasted Chioma and this brought the end to their friendship. She said 4 years after, Chioma is now making a video and crying about election violence just because it directly affects her. Chioma says she will be addressing Georgina later, but let's check out Georgina's post to Chioma. She started, "Please read the whole write-up. I know many wonder why I'm posting this now or speaking about it after 4 years. Well, today's situation is a reminder of how she mocked others privately and minimized their sufferings, but she felt the need to scream today because she was directly affected. You do not only show bravery or compassion or empathy when it affects you directly." Moving on, she wrote, "So this is Chioma screaming at the top of her lungs. I hope she is safe. I wish her well and I pray her votes count. That being said, this same person, Chioma, had the temerity 4 years ago to tell me that my post will create riots and the election was safe and free. Meanwhile, Mona Lisa posted videos of people being killed in her hometown in Rivers State and was calling on security agents to intervene. There were various videos of thugs attacking people and catering away with ballot boxes. If you all remember vividly, one thug in Akptha was killed by voters in Lagos when he tried snatching ballot boxes. While I was posting this update, Chioma Chukwu felt the need to tell me to stop, that I have a brand to protect and that I should say the election was peaceful. She will never forget my responses to her, and she unfollowed me and I blocked her as well. It is incumbent to earn friendship with people who lack or sell their integrity and dignity for a few personal gains. I cut you off. Many of our celebrities are compromised. They all talk about their brands and stomach infrastructure. Fast forward today, here is she shouting like a cow for her safety. And I bet the last 4 years have not favored her, hence the change of heart. I'm glad she had this experience today but came out safe. I wish her well and I hope she learns from this experience that you cannot be in bed with the devil and have the moral authority to call out. When you see injustice in society, call it out. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't only scream when it affects you directly. Scream when it affects others as well." So Chioma, I forgive your ineptitude of 4 years ago and I wish you well. In case you can't see this, I hope someone delivers this message to you. Georgina Onuoha. Let's check out some of the comments of what some people had to say regarding this. Mona Lisa Code replies, with laughing and clapping emojis. Georgina then replied, "My dearest Lisa, sorry I have to mention you in my post, but I was needed to shine the light on the kind of people we have amongst us. When we were crying and calling on security agents to intervene in your state 4 years ago when people were being killed, this woman came to my DM sprawling all sorts of nonsensical telling me to protect my brand over the safety of ordinary Nigerians dying. I'm glad she is safe and that she has learned her lessons. May she never minimize the suffering of those she considers beneath her. Mona Lisa then replied, "It is well," with laughing emoji. Now moving on, someone else wrote, "If there is any one public figure that have their heart and soul and genuine sympathy in the right places, it's you, Georgina. However, people make mistakes, learn and grow. Not sure I know what Chioma did last year, but it must have hurt you to remember and call her out today. While you wish her well, it is still evidence that there is still animosity. Chioma was a hero today, and today we should celebrate what she did. Transparency in her polling unit. All love, Neoma." Georgina replied saying, "I'm proud of her today and I'm glad she found the courage to do what she did. This post is to remind a lot like her that you don't have to be brave only when it affects you directly." The person also replied, "Absolutely." Moving on to the next comment, someone wrote, "So something that happened 4 years ago is why you are calling her a prat. I don't know what exactly happened between you two, but people change. She might be seeing things different from how she saw it 4 years ago. If you had 18 years of friendship with someone and it had fall out, there are things you shouldn't be saying about them in public. This sounded like a personal vendetta. Let it go. Now, people who never knew you guys were ever friends or had to fall out now will know." She then replied saying, "It is more than a personal vendetta. I'm glad she has changed and I'm glad she had the experience today. Maybe 4 years from today, she will put safety of herself and others above her brand and never minimize anyone's suffering. That we had 18 years of friendship doesn't mean we can't disagree with each other privately or publicly. It is a learning curve for all. Above all, never compromise your integrity for momentary gains." The last slide, guys. Someone also wrote, "Georgina, this write-up is uncalled for. Seriously, you don't need to do this. 4 years have passed and gone. People that voted for Trump in 2016 didn't vote for him in 2020 because they learned their lesson the hard way. Nigeria is bleeding and everyone is trying to stop the bleeding in any way they can. So you doing this right now doesn't tell well of you either, my dear." She then replied, "Nigeria was bleeding 4 years ago. She and her type put personal beliefs above our collective well-being. Today she cried out because she was directly affected. Moral of this story, do right anytime you see anything wrong, and not only when it affects you. Maybe others will learn from this, and it has nothing to do with who they support. Violence may be condemned by all." The person that replied her saying, "I understand your point. You should have just allowed the sleeping dog lie. All of them that did what they did 4 years ago are feeling the impact now. My take is that you shouldn't have posted this. It's like you are mocking her with all this painful ordeal. Remember you said that she wrote to you in private. You should have done the same to her in private and mocked her. Not this way, my dear. I like both of you. I don't know either of you in person, but I like your personality." To me, this is just so uncalled for and totally unnecessary. Why call someone over a beef you had 4 years ago on social media to gather sympathy or what? I just feel that you're just chasing clout. People all over the world, one way or another, fall out of different kind of relationships. Just because it didn't work out between you two, that doesn't mean you have to drag her on social media for something that happened 4 years ago. Other people that voted for Buhari, they're no wise. They never smart up. Everybody has wisened up. Just because on your account she made some lapses and she supported the wrong cause when it shouldn't have been so, that doesn't mean you drag her on social media. The bravery she showed yesterday should be enough to smoothen out whatever grief or animosity you have towards her. Even though she says otherwise, her statements in her post were just full of hate and daggers thrown directly at Chioma, which is so uncalled for. Just take a look at this scenario. She's not in Nigeria, she didn't vote, but she is throwing lives as someone who went through hell during the electoral process yesterday, and she is in a comfort zone in another man's land, throwing shade at somebody who participated in full during the entire electoral process yesterday. Come on now, this is election period and everyone should stay guided. So guys, if you have any sort of contributions to make, do hit us up in the comment section. Let us know what you think and what you feel about this. On that note guys, we have come to the end of today's episode. If you haven't already, do subscribe to our YouTube page at Aproko TV and on our Facebook at Aproko Gist, where we give you trending latest gist happening in the world of social media. With that guys, thank you all for watching. Till I come your way next, stay safe guys.